So Smilegate definitely doesn't really test out units on like a beta server or anything or a test server because Elvira kind of just broke the game, at least for World Arena in preseason. Now, everyone thought that this unit would be just a very solid answer into fighting spirit units, namely Lionheart Cermia, Navy Captain Landy, and Abyssal Euphine, which is true, she really is, because you're going to see when she has Immortal, you'll actually decrease the amount of fighting spirit gained by the enemy by 100%, and you can actually give yourself that immortality with her S3 for 3 turns, and this will be on a 4-turn cooldown. So you only have 1 turn of downtime, which kind of prompted a lot of content creators and just players in general that play this game to try her out on a very annoying build. It's kind of known as Hostage Elvira, where you run her on Prophetic Candlestick, which gives you a 40% chance to reduce cooldowns by 1 turn when you're attacked. So you can kind of see where this is going. If you actually get 1 proc of this, you can keep your immortality up forever. And this just synergizes very well with herself because she gets 50% effect resist for free from her passive. She also gets effect resist also from her imprint concentration here, as you guys can see, which kind of makes it so that she's very annoying to deal with. And it's not like she even does 0 damage. She has this S2, which inflicts Beguile every 2 turns, and it's just super annoying because it's AoE, and Beguile is percent max HP, so over a long period of time, you'll whittle down the enemies if they don't have too much healing. And even if they do, you have your S3 to put unhealable, and your S3 is actually going to do more damage when the enemy is lower on HP and it penetrates defense. So it's pretty much the perfect kit for like a 1v4 monster that will go unchecked and uncountered if you don't have a way to dispel her immortality. And because she gets so much effect resist for free, you just run her on a full ER build on either counter set or speed set or even 6 effect resist sets. It works as well. And you're pretty much good to go. You just need full ER. You need some speed to actually get your initial S3 off so you don't die beforehand. If you die before you get your first S3 off, obviously this will not work. And you're pretty much set as long as you have your Prophetic Candlestick on you. Now there's a very, very small chance you don't get this to proc once, but if you build her around like 180, 200 speed on counter, it will pretty much always be activated. If you're on a speed set, you'll get to the point where you can cycle fast enough to actually maybe even lap and get your S3 back. But it's a very, very powerful and super cheesy and toxic and kind of cancerous strategy that people are using, and I actually tested out. Now I only tried this one game. After I tested it, I decided I'm going to ungear her because it's just unfun for both sides, but it's definitely a way to make your enemies rage quit because you're just going to win a very, very long drawn out fight if they don't have a way to dispel your immortality. And you're probably thinking, what about Battle Frenzy? Well, the thing is, right now in Battle Frenzy, you only get up to 100% effectiveness. So if you don't have initial effectiveness to overtake Elvira's effect resist, you're not going to ever win. You can't actually strip her. Now there are some counters, right? There's going to be something like AOL, who is always going to be high effectiveness. Usually they'll be at like even upwards of 200%, and with Battle Frenzy, you'll eventually be able to strip with your S3. Now that is if your Angel of Light actually survives, which she will do because her S2 kind of counters Elvira as well. So Angel of Light's a very good pick if you have to face this for some reason. Lua is also very good because she can soul burn with her S3 to actually dispel and ignore effect resist. It's going to be the same thing with Noggle. So what people are doing actually with this strategy is they're actually banning Noggle and banning Lua, and then they're picking AOL as their first pick, and then later down the line they're picking Elvira, and you don't really have a way to answer her, right? Because people don't really have like Bazaar built and stuff like that, right? You need a way to ignore effect resist to actually strip her, and it's just very, very annoying to deal with. Now, this immortality strategy has always been in the game with other units like Kayron, BBK, and with like MLKDs, but this one is like a one-man show, or one-woman show, I'd say, with Elvira. She can just do it all alone. All you really need around her is units that die quickly, so people are forced to attack into her, so she can actually counter if you're running on a counter set. And she just needs high effect resist. And the way you can do this is like just running Soul Weavers, right? If you don't have high effectiveness or effect resist gear, you can run like Rowana, for example, on Bastion of Hope to give her effect resist. Pretty sure this lasts after Rowana dies anyways. You can even run like Maid Chloe for S2 to give your Elvira more effect resist even more, and Shamadra's for even more effect resist. So you can kind of see where this is going. You can get your Elvira to like 300% plus effect resist very easily. And it makes it so that if they don't have super high effectiveness units to strip you into like a Battle Frenzy 7 or like plus, then you're never going to really win against her. It's super toxic. You can see when I play her that it just looks unfun to play and unfun to play against because it is. It's more of like a funny like joke kind of thing. and I really think Smilegate should address this because, yeah, it seems pretty annoying. I don't think it's super broken, but especially for early game players and mid game players that are trying to get into PvP, you're not going to have every single counter built, like Noggle, Lua, and Angel of Light and high effectiveness and speed. So you're kind of stuck fighting this unit and you have to ban her. It's just really toxic, I think. Smilegate just reworked Spirit's Breath, I believe. It's a artifact for mages because of ALOTs and I guess AOL, if I can find it here. This is 100% maxed out to reduce skill cooldowns. But Prophetic Candlestick is still one of the best 3-star artifacts in the game. That kind of does the same thing on slower builds. So not too sure about this build. It's kind of super annoying, but hopefully Smilegate addresses it, or hopefully there's like ways that people can counter this. I'm pretty sure you can counter this if you have every unit in the game, but for early game players and people getting into PvP, it definitely feels really bad. You're going to see the games can go upwards of like 30 minutes. The one I'm going to show you actually took 86 turns, and not even halfway through, I think like 20 turns in, my opponent just AFK'd and let the turns just run down the clock, and the game just took 30 minutes. So not fun. I eventually did win in the end, but he ended up forfeiting after he came back from probably, I don't know, watching a TV show. So hopefully you guys find this funny like I do, but please don't use it. It's not that fun, and I'm definitely going to ungear my ELVIRA after making this video so I don't have to play it, because yeah, I think this is a very big oversight on Smilegate's part, and it kind of shows that their balancing is just not that good. So I'm going to show you guys the clip, obviously edited so you guys don't have to watch the entire 30-minute fight, but hopefully you guys find it funny.
Focus.
Don't worry, I'm here. Take note for future reference. This is what a perfect cut looks like. I'll teach you. How adorable!
You look like a treat. Surprised much?
As long as I have something.
This'll be fun. So you wanna die?
A slap will do.
So you wanna die? Oh, me again? It's a good look on you. Dying in agony.
Don't worry, I'm here.
I think the struggle was my favorite